Hey everybody, Mac here, and we're working on greatest common factor, all right? Now, when I do my factoring problems, I show that you don't really need to have the greatest common factor to do it. It's a little quicker if you can, but you're going to have to do work either way. And so, anyways, take a look at this. This is version B. I do have a version A, and I do have me working this out on a whiteboard if that helps you. And you can find all that at maxtutorials.com. Also, don't forget, if you like and subscribe to these videos, it does help me out, and I would really appreciate that. Okay, let's start on this first one. 18 and 30. Will 18 go in the 30? No. What's half of 18? Now I'm dividing by 2. It's 9. Will 9 go in? No. Well, let me divide by 3. 3 times 6. Will 6 go in? It will. 6x squared. I kind of did that in my head, but what I did is I started with 18, and then I said, nah, that won't work. And I just kept going down factors of this one. And then I went 9, and that didn't work. And then I go 6. And then if that didn't work, I'd go 3. And those are all the factors of 18. If none of them worked, then none of them are common. Okay? Let's go on to number 2. Will 7 go in? Oh, sorry, 14? No. The next one down is 7, and 7 will. 7m squared. For the letters, you just use the smallest exponent. And the way you want to think about it is, do they have 3 m's in common? Nah, he's only got 2. Okay, so what's in common? Only 2 of them. So that's why we use the smallest exponent. Let's go to number 3. Will 21 go in the 49? It won't. Okay, so let's go down to the next biggest factor of 21. And 2 won't go in. 3, it would be 7. Will 7 go in the 49? It will. 7, lowest exponent of the variable. Number 14, will 16 go in the 40? It won't. The next factor down is 16 is 8. 8 will. 8y squared. Okay, I've got a trick for when the numbers get nasty. They're not terribly nasty yet, so that's why I'm doing it like this, because I can do these in my head a little bit. Okay, so will 25 go in the 45? No. What's the next biggest factor of 25? Is it 24, 23, 22? You're going to find it's going to be 5. Will 5 go in the 45? Sure will. 5p squared. Number 6, will 12 go in the 32? No. Next biggest factor is 6. Will 6 go in the 32? It won't. What's the next biggest factor of 12? 4. Will 4 go in the 32? It will. So it's 4b cubed. Okay? Because we want the lowest exponent. Number 7, 33 and 55. 33 won't go in the 55, but 11 will, and that's going to be my biggest one right there. Number 8, 24 and 60. Okay, this time I'm going to break this one down. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, so 24, I'm going to go 6 times 4. I'm not going to keep going. I could keep going, but I'm not. I'm going to take the 60, and I know that that's going to be 6 times 10. As soon as you see a match, you can pull it out. Yes, I can break down 6 more. I agree. But once they match, I can pull that out. Now, I still got to work the 4 and the 10, though. Okay, because they can break down further. And I ask myself, once I break it down, is there another match? Yeah, look at these 2s. So I'm going to times it by what I already pulled out. I have no other matches, so my answer is 12. And then I'm going to write K3 because I want my lowest exponent variable. Okay? But you may have pulled out 6. You didn't see the 12. All you saw was 6. Cool. It is a common factor, but it's not the greatest. Okay, now I'm going to show you later when we factor. As long as you pull out a common variable, I'll explain it later, but you can keep going and you will get the right answer. Now, you'll find it quicker if you can find the greatest, but it'll work without. 42, will that go in the 70? No. Well, 7 just looks like it's going to be the answer, but let's just double check. 7 times 6, and that's 7 times 10. Well, I see the 7, so I'm going to pull out a 7. Ooh, but look at this. 6 breaks down to a 3 and a 2. The 10 works down as a 5 and a 2. You know what I see? I see another one. I see that can have a 2 in common as well. So ultimately, 14 is my greatest common factor. All right, so that one was a little tricky. If you didn't do the breakdown, if I were solving this problem in factoring, I would have pulled out a 7, okay? And I wouldn't have got the right answer. But I wouldn't have got the wrong answer. I just would have had to keep going. All right, but if we're looking for greatest, it has to be 14. Number 10, okay, so my brain right now sees that 7 will go in the both. Is there a bigger number? I don't know. I'm going to go 7 times 4, and I'm going to break this into 9 times 6. Okay, well, my 7's done, so I'm just left with 2 times 2. That's 3 times 3. I'm not seeing a lot common here. That's going to be a 3 and a 2. You know what, folks? That's it. A 2 and a 2. Oh, you know what would have helped? If I would have been smart enough, and instead of 9 times 6, I would have written 9 times 7. And I would have seen the 7 right there, and I'd pull out a 7. Now, if I break down the 9 to 3 times 3, I see there's no more matches, so my answer is 7c squared. Look at me! I just made a silly mistake, and so that happens a lot in math, but always go back and check your work. Number 11, what's common between 36 and 48? Well, you probably see the 6, but is there anything more? Well, let's go 6 times 6, and let's go 6 times 8. We know that 6 is there, so let's just go ahead and pull out the 6 already. So now I'm just looking for anything more that's common. That's a 3 and a 2, and that's going to be a 4 and a 2, and a 2 and a 2. Common, another 2, and that's it. So really, I could have pulled out a 12, and then we have our n to the 4th. Okay? Number 20. 20 won't go in the 50 evenly, but 10 will. That'll be my biggest. That one should be an easy one to see. Okay? This one, 54 and 81. Well, 9 is the first one I see. 9 times 6 and 9 times 9. But who knows? Maybe there's a bigger one. We should really look and check it out. I'm going to pull out a 9. Now, that's going to be a 3 and a 2. And that's going to be a 3 and a 3. Guess what? There is another common one. It's a 3. So really, my common is 27W. Oh, my goodness. I can't see this. Oh, it's a 4. So I want to pull out a 3. Okay? Don't be sloppy like me. 15 and 45. Will 15 go in the 45? It will. So it's 15d squared. Let's go on to 15. All right, this one's going to be nasty. So let's just do this. That's 8 times 8 is 64. Let's just stop there for now. Will 8 go in the 96? It would be lovely if it would. Okay, 8 times 8 goes in the 9 once with 1 left over. 8 goes in there twice. I love it. Guess what? 8 is a common. But there may be more. 4 times 2, this is 4 times 3. I can break down the 4s, but why? I already know they're common. And all I have left is a 2 and a 3. So really, 32h squared would be my greatest common factor. Let's go on to number 16. Boy, I did a lot of these, didn't I? Shame on me. Will 27 go in the 72? 54, then something with a... No, it won't. Okay, so this is 9 times 3. And this is going to be 9 times 8. Well, I see the 9 is common, so I pull out the 9. 4 and 2, I'm not going to get a 3 out of that. That's it. J cubed. Let's go on to number 35. 35 won't go in. The next biggest factor of 35, if I keep going, it's really going to be 7. So 7v squared is going to be my answer. 40 won't go in the 56. The next biggest one is 20. No, that won't work. The next biggest thing that goes in the 40 would be 10, right? 10 won't work. It looks like it's going to be 8. Okay, so 8z squared. Ooh, this one looks nasty. I better spend some time on this one. 9 times 8, and this is 9 times, if you memorized your 12s, it's 9 times 12. And so I see the 9, so I'm going to pull out a 9. I'm going to break that in the 4 times 2. I'm going to break that in the 4 times 3. And I see that. I'm going to pull out a 4. So what's my common? It's going to be 36f to the 4th. All right. And then the last one, I'm going to see this as 9 times 5. I'm going to see this as 25 times 3. Well, none of this is really helping. Let's keep going. 3 times 3 and 5. Boom, boom, boom. This one is 5 times 5. Boom, boom, boom. All right, well, what's common? 5 and 5. What's common? A 3 and a 3. What's common? A 3 and a 5. Nope. So my answer is 15g to the 3rd. All right, so if you hung in there, guys, there's some more practice on how to find the greatest common factor. Hopefully you get this. If you want one more sheet of practice, I do have a version C, and you can find that at Max Tutorials as well. I'll see you there.